Well, hello, and get ready because there are some pretty exciting things happening out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the crypto market is really showing some renewed strength. We're seeing the total global market cap climb back above $3 trillion.
Wow. Okay. Back above 3 trillion. That's definitely a positive sign, isn't it?
It really is. Feels like, a real shift in momentum.
Reclaiming that kind of level, it suggests maybe renewed confidence, more activity, maybe.
I think so. Absolutely. And kind of leading the way here, we're seeing Bitcoin making a really significant move. It's pushed past $96,000.
96K. Okay. That's not just a small jump.
No, exactly. It feels, well, pretty solid. A good step in the right direction after, some ups and downs recently.
Right. And Bitcoin's performance, it often um, sort of sets the tone, doesn't it? As
Hmm.
the biggest one out there.
Yeah, a strong Bitcoin often gives a tailwind to the rest of the market.
And it looks like that's happening now.
Seems like it, yeah. Our sources are showing other major players like Ethereum, XRP, Solana. They've also seen some pretty impressive gains just in the last day.
Okay, like what kind of numbers?
Well, Ethereum's up by 5%, XRP by about 3.6%, and Solana showing a really strong 7% increase.
7% for Solana. Wow.
Yeah. So it really paints a picture of, well, broad enthusiasm across the main digital assets here.
Exactly. When you see them moving up together like that, it suggests a wider return of optimism. Investors seem keen again on various major cryptos.
So, okay, with all this positive movement, this uplift across the market, the big question, I guess, is
Yeah.
what's actually fueling it? What's behind this renewed energy we're seeing?
Right. Well, what's interesting is it seems to be a combination of things, several factors kind of coming together.
Okay.
If you look back a bit, Bitcoin itself has been showing a pretty clear recovery trends since like early April.
Right. I remember it dipped then.
Yeah, and since that low point, it's rebounded
Huh.
over 29% to get to where it is now, above that $96,000 mark.
29% recovery. That's quite a foundation.
It is. That kind of inherent upward momentum, it provides a strong base,
That definitely highlights some underlying resilience, doesn't it?
Precisely. And adding to that, there are maybe some encouraging signs from the wider economic world, too.
Like what?
Well, there's some talk about constructive discussions maybe happening between China and the U.S. regarding tariffs.
Ah, okay. Trade talks.
Yeah. And, any step towards easing those kinds of tensions, it's often seen as a positive for global markets overall.
Right. Less uncertainty helps everyone.
Could be. And that positivity can definitely spill over into the crypto space as well.
That makes sense, yeah. A calmer economic climate might make people more comfortable with, well, different kinds of assets.
Exactly. And then there's another really interesting piece here.
Hmm.
We're seeing what looks like a renewed wave of institutional interest, capital flowing back into crypto.
Ah, the institutions are back.
It suggests maybe larger organizations are regaining conviction, allocating funds again.
Okay, and what I found really interesting here, based on our sources, is the data around those U.S. Bitcoin spot ETFs.
The exchange traded funds.
Yeah. After a tiny dip recently, they apparently had this impressive 8-day streak of inflows, pulled in something like $3.9 billion in just that short period.
3.9 billion. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's significant.
Seems like it, like a real endorsement from the institutional side, right?
Absolutely. Those ETF inflows are a powerful indicator of that institutional demand. They make it easier for traditional investors to get Bitcoin exposure.
Right.
And big inflows like that can definitely help push the price up.
And, okay, adding another layer to this whole positive story, there's even some speculation floating around about NVIDIA.
The tech giant?
Yeah, that they might be considering investing in Bitcoin for, quote, stability.
Stability. That's an interesting word choice.
It really is. Kind of attention grabbing, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, if a company like NVIDIA, that prominent, were to put some assets into Bitcoin, well, that could be seen as a pretty strong validation.
Right, like legitimizing it further.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even for, corporate treasuries. It sends a signal.
Okay, so let's focus back on Bitcoin specifically for a moment. Trying to get past that $96,000 level, the analysis we've seen points to some interesting dynamics right around there.
Yes, the data suggests there's a pretty significant number of addresses, maybe around 1.38 million.
Wow, that many.
Yeah, who apparently bought Bitcoin at an average price near $96,950.
Okay, so just under where we are now, basically.
Right around that mark. So you can think of that price zone as an area where a lot of holders might just be looking to get their money back, break even.
Ah, so they might sell as soon as the price gets near there, creating resistance.
Exactly. It could lead to increased selling pressure as the price approaches those levels. It's a potential hurdle.
Makes sense. A big supply zone, kind of.
Precisely. However, the analysis also suggests that if this, positive energy continues, if the market keeps this momentum,
Mm-hmm.
and if Bitcoin can successfully push through that resistance, then the path higher might become, well, a bit clearer.
Okay, clearer how. The analysis even hinted at maybe a rapid move towards $109,000 if that 96K hurdle is broken.
It did sound quite optimistic, yeah.
109,000, that's a big jump.
It is. The thinking behind that, apparently, is that once you get past that 96, 97,000-ish level,
Mm.
there are reportedly fewer significant areas where sellers might be clustered,
Ah, less resistance further up.
potentially,
Yeah.
which could mean, less friction stopping a quicker price advance.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely something to keep an eye on, a potentially big upward move there.
If it breaks through, yes.
So, all right, let's just sort of recap this positive picture we're seeing.
Yeah.
There's a real upswing happening. It seems fueled by, one, Bitcoin's strong recovery since April.
Right, that 29% bounce.
Yeah. Two, maybe helped by some positive vibes around easing trade tensions globally.
The macro picture improving slightly.
Three, definitely boosted by that renewed institutional interest, especially those big inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs we talked about.
Yep, the $3.9 billion figure.
And then four, you've got this speculation, this idea of major tech companies like NVIDIA potentially getting involved, adds another layer of positive sentiment.
That's a great summary of the encouraging factors, yeah. The market seems to be reacting well to all this.
It really does. And looking ahead now, it's genuinely interesting to think about, what could happen next if this trend continues, if traditional finance, big tech companies really start embracing crypto more.
Yeah, what would the implications be?
Exactly. What other positive milestones might we see if this upward momentum keeps going? It certainly gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? About how finance and tech might keep evolving together.